stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemous name. Welcome to the Revelation 13 podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Revelation 13 podcast. I'm your host, Mike Hopwood. Occasionally objects are found or noticed that seem to defy the traditional scientific rendering of history. These objects tell their own stories of the possibilities of the past. Ica, Peru, 1961. A Peruvian doctor named Javier Cabrera received a small engraved stone for his birthday from a poor native. The image on the stone caught Dr. Cabrera's attention because to him it depicted a primitive extinct fish. He believed these carved stones to be ancient and set out to find more of them. He was able to acquire 341 more etched stones from Carlos and Pablo Soldi. Also, a peasant named Basilio Escutia supplied him with many more of the rocks. The stones were said to have come from a river bank not far from the famous Nazca lines. The Nazca lines are large figures and lines etched into the Atacama Desert in Nazca, Peru. Dr. Cabrera would eventually come into possession of over 15,000 etched stones. The depictions on the stones were telling a story that flatly contradicts the official historical record of man. Scenes on the stones showed dinosaurs, some attacking humans and some being ridden by man. Advanced technology, advanced medicine, operations, maps, and sexual depictions. The dinosaurs depicted on the stones included Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Apatosaurus, and men riding on the backs of pterodactyls. Also, there are scenes of men hunting and killing dinosaurs. Some stones show men looking at the stars through what seems to be a telescope. Depictions of open-heart surgery and cesarean section births were also discovered. Other stones had representations of hummingbirds and monkeys, similar to the Nazca lines. Some stones show a primitive map of the world with unknown continents. Geologists would confirm to Dr. Cabrera that the maps would generally conform to what the Earth's continents would have looked like 13 million years ago, according to modern continental drift theory. The stones themselves are made of andesite. This volcanic rock ranges in color from gray to black. The stones over many years develop a patina, or varnish, over them from natural oxidation. The makers of the Ica stones would etch through the varnish to create the designs on the stones. Carbon dating of the rocks is impossible due to the fact that nothing organic is on the stones that could be carbon dated. Dr. Cabrera organized the stones by subject matter: physical and social sciences, ancient animals, geography, and prophecy. He then developed a narrative of what he thought the stones had recorded. He believed the advanced technology came from an alien race he called Glyptolithic man, and he believed that they came in the time of the dinosaurs and genetically engineered modern man. The aliens left Earth, leaving the Nazca lines as evidence of their spaceport. The authenticity of the stones were cast in doubt in 1973 when Basilio Escutia admitted to forging the stones to Eric von Daniken, the author of the Chariots of the Gods. He later would claim that he said that he hoaxed the stones to avoid going to jail. It is illegal in Peru to sell archaeological artifacts. In 1977, a British documentary, Pathways to the Gods, Escutia demonstrated how he could make an Ica stone by baking the stone in cow dung and etching the stone's design with a dentist drill. Another documentary about the Ica stones from 1996 prompted the Peruvian authorities to arrest Escutia for selling archaeological artifacts. Escutia would again say the stones were hoaxes. And he was not prosecuted, and he continued to sell stones to tourists. These confessions would seem to debunk the Ica stones' legitimacy as records of the past, but not necessarily so. Basilio Escutia didn't make all of the stones, and he certainly would claim them as forgeries to avoid jail. Also, if he sold out all of the real ones, it is not unthinkable to believe that he would find a way to make more. There is still reason to believe that some of the stones are still considered authentic because they show signs of patina or varnish on the etched surfaces, which could only have come from thousands of years of aging, as well as a little detail found on some of the stones with dinosaurs on them. These stones show the dinosaurs with circular patterns on their skins. It was only recently found that fossilized samples of dinosaur skin that showed these circular patterns. The Ica stones give us a tantalizing glimpse into the possibilities of the ancient past: advanced technology, advanced medical procedures, lost knowledge, lost continents, and the existence of dinosaurs with man. Unfortunately, the modern forgeries of many of these stones have cast a cloud of uncertainty and suspicion over the messages of the stones. The Ica stones by themselves cannot prove their validity. Other artifacts will need to be found to help corroborate them. There are artifacts that have been found in South America that may do just that, at least when it comes to the existence of dinosaurs with men. July 1944, Acámbaro, Mexico. Waldemar Julesrod, a German hardware merchant, was riding his horse outside the town on the lower slope of El Toro Mountain. Julesrod noticed a ceramic object and hewn stones partially exposed in the ground. Julesrod was an amateur archaeologist and was familiar with objects from many ancient South American civilizations, including the Aztecs, the Tarascan, Toltec, Mayan, Inca, and pre-Incas. Julesrod in 1923 had co-discovered the Chupicario civilization, which flourished from 800 BC to 200 AD, at a site 8 miles away from Acámbaro, Mexico. As he had dug out the stones and ceramic pieces from the ground, he realized that they were distinct from any of the other civilizations' pottery that he was familiar with. The 69-year-old Julesrod had made another great archaeological discovery. Julesrod hired a Mexican farmer named Odilion Tinajero to dig in the area and bring him back any artifacts found. Julesrod paid the farmer 1 peso for every complete artifact found. He did this to ensure that the farmer would be as delicate as possible with the excavation. Eventually, 33,500 objects would be collected from the site in nearby areas. The objects were made out of ceramics, stone, and jade. Obsidian knives were also recovered. The size of the artifacts range from an inch to 6 feet long. Clay statues, masks, idols, tools, utensils, and representations of human faces were among the objects found. These faces resembled Eskimos, Asians, Africans, Caucasians, Mongols, and Polynesians. Other objects in the collection could be seen as having cultural connections to the ancient Egyptians and Sumerians as well as others, but the most astonishing aspect of the objects found was the dinosaur figurines. Several hundred of them would come to light. These figurines show many dinosaur species,